Hey, what is up guys, Epic Pokemon TCG here, and today guys I've got a deck profile for you, and I'm very excited for this deck because this was the number one deck I wanted to build when Guardians Rising first started getting leaked out, and that is going to be Lycanroc. So if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to like it and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I am so pumped for this. So starting off the list guys, we have a 4/4 line of Lycanroc GX. I also want to note something real quick. If you want to put this one in too, that is definitely an option. If you just want to run one random copy of this, the promo Lycanroc, you can definitely do that. Just wanted to throw that out there. But Lycanroc GX, the Midnight form I believe it's called, is I think my favorite Pokemon out of Sun and Moon in general. So I was really pumped whenever this card got released, and I liked it so much. But it has the ability Bloodthristy Eyes, and this is basically a Lysandre. So whenever you evolve, you get to do a Lysandre ability, basically. Then it has Claw Slash for 110 for a fighting and a DCE. And then it has Dangerous Road GX for 50 times. This attack does 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So very similar to Zoroark's attack. What is that called? Mind Jack, I think is what it's called. And so if your opponent has 4 Pokemon on their bench, that is going to be 200 damage, and that is absolutely insane. This is just a quick way for you to do a ton of damage for 2 energy if your opponent has a loaded up bench. And then of course we have the adorable cute little Rockruff here. This little dude is so cute. It has a corner. The defending Pokemon can't retreat during your next turn. And then it has Wild Kick, flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. I actually got a knockout turn 1 with Wild Kick when I was playing around with this. It was really fun. My buddy on Skype was pissed. He hung up on me. So yeah, we have a 4/4 line of Lycanroc. God, I love you. Next up we have, of course, the Eeveelutions line. Originally going into it, I had the other Eevees, but my friend informed me that I should probably swap it out because I will get that comment saying I should run the Energy Evolution Eevee because it has Quick Draw, and I said, you're right. So it really doesn't necessarily matter what Eevee you go with. If you're like kind of forced to use Quick Draw, I think you're pretty much screwed regardless. But essentially what this is going to do is going to allow you to basically have 4 weaknesses you can hit for throughout the game: fighting, water, electric, and fire. I went with this just because I'm in the testing stages of this deck basically, and this is more of a skeleton list you can build. But if there's like decks that are specifically heavily like more of in your area, like let's say there is more Volcanion, you can go for a thicker line of Vaporeon. If there is more like Decidueye variants, you can go with Flareon. If you notice that there's just a ton of, decks that you don't really have like an advantage against, you can go with this. Jolteon is going to be good because it's going to help you hit Shaymin for weakness. You can hit Lugia for weakness and Yveltal for weakness, which is extremely awesome. Essentially, that's just the idea of this deck, is to hit for multiple weaknesses. The attack Claw Slash does 110, so if you're able to hit one of your opponent's Pokemon for weakness and you don't have a Choice Band or a Strong Energy on it, that's going to turn into 220 damage. So pretty cool there. Next up we have 1 Tapu Lele along with 2 Shaymin. These are just going to be in here for consistency reasons. Tapu Lele is also going to be able to be an attacker with the ability Wonder Tag. Whenever you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you can search your deck for a supporter card and put it in your hand. And then Energy Drive 20 times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. It does imply weakness, of course. We really can't use Tapu Cure with this deck, so I'm not going to go over it too much. But this is just going to be another attacker you can use in your deck. And then Shaymin, of course, setup just helps you out with that consistency there too. And we do play DCE, so we can use Sky Return if we need to. So that is going to do it for the Pokemon. Like I said, you can run the promo Lycanroc if you want to. That's why I went ahead and ordered one. I haven't got the chance to test it out yet. I can really see this being a potential maybe, just because of crunch. Because if you think about it, if you put a Strong Energy and a Choice Band on it, that's going to be an extra 80 damage, and then you can hit for weakness. That's just kind of funny. No, that's extra 60 damage, excuse me.
2 hours later.
For supporters, we have 4 Sycamore, 3 N, and only 1 Lysandre. Yes, it seems kind of cool to run 2 Lysandre and then have 4 more Lysandre, basically 6 Lysandres along with VS Seeker. Yes, that seems really funny, but trust me, it gets extremely clunky when the only supporter you have in your hand is a Lysandre and you just evolved. It gets annoying. So that's why we only run 1 Lysandre. But the supporters, I don't really need to go over them too much, just in there for those consistency purposes, just like the VS stickers will allow you to keep reusing these. Ultra Ball, we have 4 of those along with 2 Level Ball. The Ultra Ball, while it's pretty much obvious, if you have Tapu Lele in your deck, Ultra Ball is a guaranteed supporter if it's not prize, of course. So if you Ultra Ball, you see Tapu Lele, you're pretty much guaranteed a supporter there. And then the Level Ball is just so you can grab your Eevee, all of your Eevees and your Rockruffs just to get those out on the field. Then we have 4 Trainer's Mail. This is just so you can kind of fetch out some cards. I've actually been going back and forth with 3 Level Ball, 3 Trainer's Mail, trying to figure out which one I'm a little more comfortable with. I settled on this just because I like the idea of being able to potentially fetch out some supporters and such with Trainer's Mail more than I did searching out Pokemon. So that's why I went with that. 2 Choice Band, because as of right now, this is all I have. I'm still waiting on the rest of them to get into the mail. If you want to go with 3 Choice Band, you can definitely do that. Basically, that's just going to allow you to hit for a little extra damage. It does 30 more to your opponent's active EX and GX Pokemon. So that would mean that your Claw attack, your Claw Slash attack, is going to do a base of 110, and then the extra 30 would be 140. And if you hit for weakness, that's going to turn into 280, which is pretty damn good. 2 Enhanced Hammer. I just like running Enhanced Hammer. I like discarding energy. If I can slow down my opponent a little bit, like if I can Enhanced Hammer energy off of one Pokemon, Bloodthristy Eyes another one, and knock it out, then I feel like that's just going to be an extremely successful turn for me. We run 1 Escape Rope and 1 Switch. I just like having a couple switching cards in this deck. Just, you never know. I don't want to sit there and solely rely on Jolteon whenever I lose something and knocking, or like something gets knocked out on my field basically, and sending up Jolteon, doing my turn, and then going from there. On top of that, Lycanroc has a 2 retreat cost, and I don't really feel like sitting there and discarding a DCE every time I want to just retreat. So that's why that's in there. Next up, 1 Field Blower. You never know when discarding tools is going to be extremely clutch. You can discard Fighting Fury Belts, you can discard Float Stones, you can discard Choice Bands, you can discard Spirit Links, just whatever. Or you can discard a Stadium, which is very good. Field Blower, awesome card. The only reason I run 1 is because that's all I have right now. Again, mail. Yeah. As soon as these came in the mail, not even lying, as soon as they came in the mail, I started building this deck. 1 Special Charge. DCE is extremely important in this deck, because that is going to allow you to just basically have a 2 attachment for your Claw Slash attack. Tapu Lele takes a DCE to attack, and then Shaymin if you want a Sky Return. But essentially, you're going to want to try to recycle the DCEs, and where I play cards specifically, a lot of people use DCE there, so I want to try to get my they used Enhanced Hammer, excuse me. So I want to try to shuffle my DCEs back in their deck, back into the deck. Ugh.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Don't do videos at 3 in the morning if you ever want to try this. Next up, we have Super Rod. This is just so you can shuffle a Lycanroc line back in your deck, or if your Eevee is extremely just kicking ass in a certain matchup, like you're hitting for weakness, then you can just shuffle it back in your deck whenever it gets knocked out, because eventually your opponent's going to Lysandre it and knock it out, so you can shuffle that back in your deck. And then I run 2 Parallel City. This is just so I can discard my Shaymins essentially, or I can limit what my opponent's doing on their bench, and it just gives me a counter Stadium to go with. For the energy, we run 3 regular Fighting Energy, 4 Strong Energy, and 3 DCE. I've actually been going back and forth on these as well, running 4 Basic Fighting and 3 Strong, going back and forth here. For video purposes, I just decided to go with this. I felt like this was a little more made more sense basically. I originally had a 4-4-4 line, but I'm going to tell you what I ended up cutting that for. I cut the regular Fighting Energy for a Special Charge, and another cut that I made, I'll go ahead and explain that to you guys real quick here. Oh, where is it? I was running a Lily, and I ended up taking it out for the Field Blower, just because I really like that. And then I was running Brooklet Hill, and I wasn't a huge fan of that, so I just took those out and I ran Parallel City. So, yeah, I've been running some different stuff with this deck, just trying out what I liked and seeing if it worked, and this is what I got right now. But yeah, this was a deck that I was extremely hyped up for. Like, this was the deck that I wanted to build, and this is the deck I'm going to run with for a while. So yeah, this is basically the strategy is very simple. You have the Eevees in here to hit for some extra damage for weakness. Bloodthirsty Eyes is essentially a built-in Lysandre, and then Tapu Lele, of course, is in there to be Tapu Lele and do Tapu Lele stuff. But you can use Claw Slash, and if you hit for weakness, it'll turn into 220. You have damage manipulators like Strong Energy, and of course you have Choice Band in here as well. So you can start increasing the damage, doing a little extra, and going for those one-shots. That's really what this deck is all geared towards, is using Bloodthirsty Eyes, hit for weakness. You have stuff that can help out your one-shots and just go from there. This deck is absolutely just insane, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I might actually come back with a different variant of this that's going to feature Zoroark, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And that's all I got for you guys. Take care. I love you so much, and I'm going to get back to playing this baby whenever I wake up because I'm going to bed. This is Epic Pokemon TCG, signing out. Peace.